Hello and welcome to Stampscaping 101. I'm going to do a scene using this Cloud with Lightning stamp that someone has asked me to do a demonstration of. They've had that stamp for a while and kind of didn't know what to do with it. Well, lightning is just another sky figure, and you can use it in any scene where you would have sky figures, clouds, or if you're someplace where you'd stamp a moon out, instead you can do a lightning stamp and kind of give that area, some energy and lighting. That was a Seaside Cove small stamp that I just stamped out in bottle green. I'm going to give this scene a kind of an emerald green themed color scheme. That's not, you can do this lightning stamp in any colors you want, but I was just thinking about these kind of nice jeweled tones that I wanted to achieve in this scene. Some of these green, kind of a green glowing color scheme is one of my favorite color schemes. I really like the look of kind of the emeralds, and I want to go for something like that. A lot of times I like, kind of jeweled tones in scenes. I like it to look as though my scenes are kind of glowing from within the card, with like deep saturations of hue in various values. Okay, we have a lone Cloud with Lightning strike. You can do more impressions of these. It can look like a time exposure shot if you did photography. I'm trying to think if I want to do that or not. I could do 3 maybe, or should I just have it 1? Let's just do 1 on this one. Let's see. Being that there's just 1, I have all this area on the perimeter of that to fill in. In a previous video I did sky figures and how to blend them in. This is the Cloud Cumulus, and just like the grass, sedge filler is a good texture to fill in on land elements, and water pattern for water. Your sky elements, this is a good bet to go with. For all sky blends. I'm masking off. I have a little bit of the the Seaside Cove showing, and I kind of wiped off the perimeter of this cloud stamp, center pressure. Right. With your next impression, be sure and re-ink. I'm going to wipe off the perimeter like this. With this cloud stamp, the lighting is coming from above, so if the lighting is right there, I'm going to turn the cloud stamp and overlap into my previous impressions. I don't want to stamp completely over my lightning bolt, right? But I do want to go into the image a little bit. Filling right there. Re-ink, wipe off, and make your impression overlap. Now this one, I'm turn the cloud around this way, so it's always kind of facing the light, the top portion of it. Gonna mask off my ocean again. Come back out here a little bit more. Oops, I didn't press hard enough. Press harder around your mask, okay? Just go right back in there and fill in a little bit more even. Okay. And down here, move my mask out a little bit more and make an impression. Okay, that's better. And I just have that little bit up there. I'm just not even going to bother to re-ink. I'm just going to fill in. So my lightning is... my lightning impression is still visible because I didn't stamp over it with my cloud. And as I apply ink into this scene, I'm going to make sure that I don't ink out those bolts now. Unless I want a little bit of tone in there, but I don't want too much. Okay, just like any sky figure, these are the tones that I'm going to run through. Just like any sky figure, if you want it to be kind of your light source, or the dominant light source, then simply just don't tone it out. And this is one of those things I think I mentioned in a previous video. That's the one, you know, that's the thing that always confuses people, you know, as far as not the stamper, but the people that often receive these types of cards. They always want to know how you kept, how you did certain things. You know, they're gonna, if they see a lightning bolt like this and it's kind of light in the middle of darkness, they often think it's an additive process. You know, like you've you know, stamped a reverse or a resist or something like that, and it just resisted the ink on there, or maybe you've embossed white into your scene or something like that. But no, it's not. It's just, you know, it's just for the fact that you just didn't tone it out. This is a Ranger Adirondack light yellow that I'm using right here. That's my first color. It's a very light tone. Actually, I lied. It's a Sea Brights. I think that's called something different now. I don't remember the naming convention, though. But anyways, Ranger Industry inks, kind of thick and slippery, excellent choices to apply to your scene on the first one or two coats. Someone asked me recently too, which is a really good question, is can you use all, you know, kind of thicker brands of inks, Memento, Ranger, whatnot? Well, you can, but you might have to wait for the layers of ink to dry a little bit before you go on to your next color. Sometimes it gets so thick on here, and those brands of inks, each layer, you know, kind of sits on the surface a lot longer than kind of a thinner ink. Now these Marvy inks, that one was the yellow that I just used. I'm using a yellow-green here, just moving up incrementally as far as the values go. But these Marvy inks are a little bit thinner. That's not to say they're less vibrant or rich, but the consistency is thinner. I think they have a different binder consistency, meaning, you know, the liquid that they use to put the dyes into solution. So anyways, their pads are probably denser as far as the fabric on these pads goes, so that, you know, a thinner ink doesn't just spill out over the edge of these raised pads. The Ranger inks are a little bit thicker. Probably the material's a little bit different on their pads, so they can go with the thicker ink on there. But anyways, it's just a matter of consistency. By going with a thin over thick, the thinner ones can penetrate the surface of the paper faster, and because they're thinner, they'll dry a little bit faster. But that being said, you know, it's better to go with the thick one on the first couple coats, in my opinion, to make the other inks that much easier to spread, again, without getting oval shapes or something like that over your scene. That's not to say that you can't just use one style of ink. It's just a little bit, you know, you just have to use a little bit more touch. That being said, I probably wouldn't try this technique right here of blending these inks on with something like a StazOn, okay? StazOn would dry, I think, in my opinion, much too fast for this technique, although StazOn might be a good idea to use as your base color. That was a light green, This is a jungle green here. The scene's getting a little bit more vibrant with each incrementally darker value. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's try number 10, blue, where blue overlaps green. You don't see blue because these are transparent, meaning see-through colors. Or you might see a little bit of blue, however, if I put some on that white of the clouds, that's, you know, that's still that are still white, the white of the paper. Okay, moving up into blue. Remember, the first color that I used was yellow, so of course what do you add into yellow to form green? Well, it's blue. So you can use these blue tones to create a darker green. Now I have all the Marvy colors, but you know, knowing kind of, if you know the basics of, you know, color blending and how to form, you know, the analogous colors to the primary ones, you know, yellow, blue, and red, then you can mix, you know, you can substitute, you know, color combinations for existing pad colors. So if you don't have a dark green, why not lay down, if you're using this technique right now, you can lay down a dark, you know, a yellow and then put blues over it, you know, if you have blues. If you don't have a violet, then add blue to, like, say, pink or something of that nature. That's one of the really great things about dye-based inks. In this technique right here, we're laying down and overlapping, and this is the same glossy cardstock is the same thing that they print postcards on, so these can look like really deep, rich, printed postcards. Okay, I just masked off that to get a deeper horizon line for my water. Okay, I'm getting closer here. Let's make this top part a little bit darker. I want to kind of cap off the top of this scene, I think, with some dark tones. I guess if you wanted to, you can almost do a different impression if the Seaside Cove didn't get so dark. You know, if I stamped a little bit lighter, I guess, you know, you could potentially do a different impression of that lightning strike in the water, or at least maybe that portion of it. You don't have to stamp the whole part, but it'd be kind of interesting, you know, having a reflection of the lightning strike in the water. Okay, let's go back in with our mask here. Easiest mask in the world is to mask off a straight line, right? Okay, that was a Prussian blue. It's practically black. One of my favorite colors is really super dark blue, almost black blue. Okay, this is black. Corners, tip your edges. Okay, let's have some fun here. Let's stamp out a little boat, or sailboat. doing this in black. I lied. That's bottle green. I guess it's green, almost black. I thought, that doesn't look right. Oh well, let's go with it. Okay. Sailboat in the storm. I don't know. It doesn't look that stormy. It kind of looks calm to me. But anyways, let me finish this off with a few little details in video B. I'm almost done with it though.